Welcome back. This is the Jim Lowenstern Radio Talk Show, and been taking it easy a couple weeks. We haven't been doing some live shows. This one actually is pre-taped as well, and I've got some great guests with me today. I've got Allison Carter, who works at the Jackson Homestead in Newton. It says Historic Newton on your card, Allison.
Yep.
You're the Education Programs Manager.
I sure am.
Okay, well, welcome.
Thank you.
We have Charbel Najim.
Yes.
Najim, Chief Executive Officer and Sales Manager of GC Capstone. And we've got Oren Mel, who also works with Capstone. And I'm going to talk to all my guests in a moment. Yesterday or the day before, there was a news release. This is actually a month after the initial news release from Bank of America about how they're modifying mortgages. And I actually, just for the show, of course, I wanted to find out the details, so I actually called Bank of America because I have a lot of clients in my real estate business that probably have been affected negatively by the economy the last few years. And basically they said, oh, yeah, well, that hasn't happened yet. So I just figured, well, that's great. You did a press release, and it'll never happen. But actually, it kind of happened yesterday, but still I wonder if it'll ever really happen. They are doing modifications, and they've got like $10 billion to play with. It's our money, of course. And they say if you are delinquent on your mortgage as of January 31st, 2012, but have a job and are underwater, we might be able to help you. And we might be able to reduce your principal balance by $100,000. And that sounds great. It's just that they're giving themselves so many ways to wiggle out of doing any modifications that you wonder if one penny is ever going to be modified. And so I go on HuffingtonPost.com. I love the way the articles get written, but I like the comments by the readership even better. So they say that the bank has mailed out 5,000 trial modification offers representing potentially more than $700 million in forgiven principal balances. And again, the borrowers must owe more on their mortgage than the property is worth and be at least 60 days behind on payments. But the comments from the readership is it tells the real story. That's not the real story. So here's the real story. Here's one beautiful one. Once again, it's pick and choose who gets the reduced principals. It's all BS. I didn't write that. They wrote that. I kept saying they should just reduce it for everybody and start from no. It's always some lucky person who gets a sweet deal while everyone else suffers. And I didn't write this. This system sucks, and Bank of America is the worst corporation to ever be in existence. I don't believe that. I believe there are worse corporations. To those that get a reduced principal, enjoy, because I've been stuck with my overpriced home for over 2 years with $20,000 added to the price for a modification. No need to respond with too bad because I knew what I was getting into, because apparently, depending on a random drawer, someone's getting a reduced principal, so it can be done. Another one writes, so you only get relief if you're upside down and 60 days delinquent? What about those homeowners that are upside down and not delinquent? Why are they ineligible to receive a modified loan amount? It makes no sense at all. Either every loan that Bank of America holds is eligible or it's not. Discrimination of borrowers is unacceptable when everyone is in the same boat. Brian Moynihan needs to be shoved out the front door and sent home for good. I'm thinking Brian is probably the CEO. And then just one more. I think it makes sense to them because they can't lose. They get to drag this thing out like they did with the HAMP and HARP programs. They lord on service fees and charge the investors. If there are trial payments associated with this program, they get the homeowners on the settlement wheel, like the hamster wheel, HAMPSTER wheel. String them along and tell them to keep making trial payments while they are, quote-unquote, processing the paperwork. Get the homeowner so far behind, penalties accrue at the original contract rate, that they cannot get caught up if they are denied. Then Bank of America denies your claim and tells you to pay up. If you don't, they foreclose and collect the larded-on fees at sale. That's my guess. I could be totally wrong, but that remains to be seen. I predict they will also play the old lost paperwork trick on the borrowers. And it goes on. I mean, obviously, there are a lot of unhappy people responding to this. And who knows if this will ever really get caught up in our lifetime. However, we do have some really positive stuff that's going to come up in the next segment of the show, now that I'm done ranting. And just stay with us. This is 1510 a.m. It's revolutionboston.com. You can also listen to all the archive shows at jimlowenstern.com. And please stay with us. We'll be right back after this break.
When you are looking to buy or sell real estate and you are looking for the right realtor to do business with, NewEnglandProsperity.org is a nationwide network of carefully selected brokers who are willing to give both you and your favorite charity a large portion of their commission. These brokers are only too happy to donate to a charity and to credit you back money to help with things such as your mortgage closing costs, title insurance, moving expenses, and more. When you're starting to look for a realtor first, go to NewEnglandProsperity.org and sign up. You'll be referred to a broker who will have your interests first and who will also credit you and donate to charity. Look them up at NewEnglandProsperity.org. And when you sign up on their website, you can expect a top broker to return to you with a call to begin discussing the next steps in your selling or buying process. NewEnglandProsperity.org brokers make it easy to buy and sell real estate, and they make it easy for you to pay for your closing costs because they pitch in with a piece of their commission and they make charitable contributions. For all of the information, just go to NewEnglandProsperity.org. We are changing the way America buys and sells real estate.
Craig Taney is a full-service mortgage broker lender serving Greater Boston for the last 20 years. In 2009, Craig and his partners started Mortgage Equity Partners. MEP is a boutique home loan origination company that seeks out the most lenders for home mortgages and can offer It's available in the market today. Call Craig directly for a personal consultation at 781-309-1805. Mortgage loan origination number 142580 and NMLS 1936.
Castles Magazine, an in-print and online magazine and database of exceptional properties, is available to you 24/7 at castlesmag.com. Considered by Google to be the online authority of luxury real estate, castlesmag.com is the best way to search for properties anywhere in the world when you are looking for your dream home and the best realtors to help you with your search. Castles Magazine and castlesmag.com. One in print and one online, and always at your service. Not just opening doors, opening the doors that you dream of.
Welcome back. Jim Lowenstern. I have with me today Allison Carter from Historic Newton. It's Newton, Massachusetts, for all you people on the internet. We're going to be talking about what is possibly the greatest city in the world, a little bit. Certainly the greatest city in the Boston area. Wouldn't you agree, Allison?
Oh, yes, of course.
Yeah, they pay you to say that. Okay, so you work for the Jackson Homestead.
Yep.
Historic Newton is the cute logo. What is Historic Newton?
Historic Newton, we actually recently rebranded, but Historic Newton is the local history organization in Newton, Massachusetts. We're headquartered at the Jackson Homestead, which people tell us all the time, I drive by there every day and I never come in. So that little federal-style yellow house on Washington Street, if you drive by it in Newton or on the Mass Pike, come in. Someday we'd love to have you.
So you can just go in anytime.
Oh, yeah. Oh, of course.
Open all the time?
Well, we're open 11
2 o'clock in the
11
morning?
to 5. No, 11 to 5 Tuesday through Friday and 12 to 5 on the weekends.
Okay.
We recently rebranded to be Historic Newton because we're opening a new museum on Waverly Avenue. Should open up early next year.
So that one is going to be just the same or
Nope.
a little different?
A little different. The Durant Kenrick Homestead will interpret sort of 3 layers of history, but really the Revolutionary period, where the Jackson Homestead, we focus on 1800s history and specifically the Underground Railroad because the house was a stop on it.
So in Newton, what would you say the oldest house that's still standing is age-wise?
Oh, it's a 17th century house. So 1600s, it's pretty hard to date houses accurately back that far, but it's on Fairley Road.
In Woburn.
Yep. And I don't know much about it other than that. There are a few people that claim to live in the oldest house in Newton, but
I sold
that's the
one
one.
that was in the 1600s.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. You probably know. Well, you definitely know it, right? You know all the houses.
well, I know quite a few of them, yeah.
This one was at the corner of Boylston and Parker. It's White House. They call it a Tory style because of the chimney.
Oh, okay.
Underground Railroad.
Oh.
Passed through there.
Oh, okay.
It was a stop on the Underground Railroad.
There's a lot of people who claim to have their house on the Underground Railroad. Might help you sell your house.
which basically means that it just had a hole in the basement that supposedly people were hiding in the hole or something.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stories about that. As a historian, it's sort of my job to demand proof for these things and evidence. The Jackson Homestead, we have evidence of it. We have written documentation from one of the residents who grew up in the other. And the other Underground Railroad stop in Newton is the Nathaniel Allen House in West Newton. Those are the 2 that we know of now. And if anyone wants to come to the Jackson Homestead and show me what they got in the way of proof, I'm happy to look at it.
Okay, so you're doing a Newton house tour. You do one every year, I guess.
Yep, this is our 30th annual house tour.
Wow. So what is the Newton house tour and when is it?
This year, the house tour is June 3rd. It's always on a Sunday from 12 to 5. And basically, we have a committee that selects homes throughout Newton. We try and get 8 houses on the tour every year. And we look for homes that are in some way unique, whether they're historic. We also have 1 new construction house on the tour. We allow up to 1 every year, so we have 1 this year. And we basically have the homeowners open the house up to people who buy tickets. And you get to look through the homes and see magnificent examples of landscape architecture, artwork, interior design, all sorts of good stuff.
So who takes them through the individual houses? Is it the owners?
It's sometimes the owners are there, sometimes they choose not to be. It's basically self-guided. We have volunteers that sort of show you which way to go, but people sort of guide themselves through the house.
And do the homeowners get anything out of this?
The homeowners, they support the museum, which is wonderful because this is a fundraiser for us. They get to show off all the hard work they've done on their home and whatever work. Usually it's something has recently been updated or changed in the house. And we also, as a token of our thanks, we give them a historic marker for their house that shows the date of construction. or we'll give them a reproduction map of their neighborhood, a historical map.
So how much do they pay to get on the tour?
$0.
Oh, they don't pay anything?
No, it's a donation, and it's a wonderful one.
So if someone had, I guess you have to have certain criteria. What are the?
Yeah,
How do you pick them?
we don't have really hard and fast criteria. It just has to be a special house, and that's very subjective. But we have a committee of volunteers that will make an appointment with the homeowners if they want their house to be on the tour, and see if it's sort of up to house tour standards. And
How old does it have to be?
it doesn't have to be any age.
Really?
We have a house this year that was built in 2009. The oldest house was built circa 1866. So they're not just historic homes. Actually, people call us every year, and some people who want to see new, exciting things, and they're sort of, are these going to be historic homes? They're afraid they're going to get some sort of historic tour if they're not interested in that. And it's usually historic homes that have been updated, but sometimes new construction homes with things that have been interesting done to them.
So I have a house on the market in Newton right now that was built in about 1850.
Mm-hmm.
Is it too late to get it on the tour?
Too late for this year, but we can talk about next year.
Well, I hope it's not on the market next year. I think I priced it right. I think it should sell.
That's actually one of our rules. The house can't be on the market.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Can't take it off for the day and put it back on Monday.
No, sorry.
Okay, so what kinds of homes are on the tour? It could be anything. It could be a contemporary. It could be
That's right.
a ranch.
Yeah, we have 2 this year that are LEED certified, which is a environmental standard, leadership in energy and environmental design. So those are really special. And one's I think it's a 1820-ish colonial that has a addition put on it that's LEED, and there's another that's a new construction that's LEED certified.
You ever get people like in Oak Hill Park? I mean, Oak Hill Park is little slab ranches after. I mean, it's a historic district.
It is,
right?
yeah.
Can you explain why that's a historic district?
It's a historic district because it's sort of a special slice in time of building in Newton.
And let me give the listeners out there a little background. Oak Hill Park is about 200 houses. They're all maybe at the most 1,000 square feet.
Yeah.
No basements. Mm-hmm. Most of them are all slab ranches, and it's a historic district because it was just built after the war. And
Yep, exactly. It was post World War II development, and so it's a district because it's a unique example of that period of time and what they were building. We don't do the district certifications. That's the Newton Historical Commission, which is part of the planning department.
Yeah. So that was the next question. Do you have anything to do with it at all, ever?
We are the research arm of that effort.
So they come to you to say, is this historically significant?
They ultimately make that determination, but we have lots of the material that they'll base that decision on. We have historic property surveys, which occasionally there's surveys of historic homes in the city that are done. The biggest one was done in the late 1970s, early 1980s. And they'll actually say, okay, we want to look at every house built in Newton prior to 1907. And they'll go through, look at them, make an official report. They're actually all online now and on a system called Macris. And anyway, they decide what the criteria are for what's historic, what should be a historic district, what's a historic property, if it should get, and individuals nominate things for the National Register. It's very complicated. We just have the research information, and we give information and say, take it and run with it.
And
we're not the rules.
And the National Register, what's that all about? I mean,
we
all hear about it, but we don't talk about it every day.
Yeah, it's part of the park. It's a national, I think it's part of the National Park Service. Actually, I'm not really sure, but it's the National Register of Historic Places, and individual properties or districts can be nominated for that. Anything, you have to make an argument that it's historically significant. People think that puts really strong preservation restrictions on properties, but in fact it doesn't. It's the local preservation restrictions that have the most legal teeth and the most rules involved with that.
So let's say you wanted to do something to the Jackson homestead. You still have to go through the same process that any homeowner would go through?
Oh, yeah. And it's the properties owned by the city of Newton, and we're actually trying to update the building to make it accessible, to have a universal access entrance, and also to fireproof our archive. And it's been a years-long process of bureaucracy.
Well, I hope it doesn't burn down while you're waiting to get the permit.
I know. I need a job.
So what's going to be super special about this year's house tour?
Super special this year are
how many houses on this one? 8?
8.
Okay.
2 lead houses, one of which is totally accessible. There's a wheelchair user in one of the homes. That's the new construction home. So it's the homeowners wanted to say, this is how we did this for ourselves. It's a beautiful modern house. Another one that has a great collection of mid-20th century furniture and artwork. Old gingerbread house in Newton Center that's actually gingerbread inside and out. The interior woodworking mimics the exterior.
Wow.
Really gorgeous.
What street's that on?
I can't give out the addresses, but it's on Pleasant Street.
Okay. I was going to think Lincoln Street.
No, we do that to build suspense and also just to prevent previewing. And then there's a group of houses in Newton Center, 3 late 1800s houses that have had extensive renovations done, but very nicely done and preserve the historic fabric of them. And then another Tudor style home, which is really wonderful.
So do you have people that would know about this tour? Let's say they found out about it a few years ago and they couldn't get their house on. Is there sort of like a waiting list?
I wish there were.
No,
no,
we don't. It's not that easy to get 8 people to line up for this.
We a lot of time we start every year with a huge list, but the homeowners have to be available. The work they're doing has to be finished. The house can't be on the market, and we also don't repeat homes for 10 years. So that the house on Pleasant Street was on the tour in like 1983. So it's okay to have it on again. They've done a lot of work since then. But people come year after year on the house tour, and we want to always give them something new and different.
So in your opinion, having the house on the tour, does that add value if they should ever think of selling?
It would certainly make it easier to sell since there's a pool of about 1,000 people that have already walked through your house. It also, it does because we have such a high standard for the houses that go on the tour. Not everybody can be on it, so that sort of puts you in a special class. Your house has to be really unique, special, have great design.
So I've got your postcard here, Allison.
I designed that,
and I'm handing it to Charbel because the house needs paint.
Oh, that house, yes.
He wants me to fix it for you.
Oh, okay.
You see that?
I have a few suggestions.
We tried to have a nice gritty photo, but sure, we can talk about that after.
It needs to be sanded, primed, yeah.
You have to be lead-approved contractor, too. Just to make sure.
I'm sure it's lead paint. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. I guess a big question is, Newton does this. Are there other towns, cities around the Commonwealth or even around the country that you're aware of that do this sort of thing?
Yeah. So
does Boston do something like this?
There's a house tour in Beacon Hill in the holiday season every year. Framingham has a house tour. I believe Needham might. So there are other towns that do it. There's a huge one in Essex, Connecticut. So this happens. What makes ours special is that there are some that are home tours and some that are garden tours. In ours, we try to make it both. Because Newton has such a wonderful, residential housing stock and historic housing stock. And then it's the garden city. And so we try and make it both things, a home and garden tour.
That's great.
How did Newton get the title, the Garden City?
I believe it's one of those, it's sort of an apocryphal story, but I think it's one of those post-World War things where, grow your victory garden, do your part to produce things at home on your own. And since people do have sort of lots of a certain size in Newton, it's the Garden City.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure on that. I have to maintain my credibility as a historian, too.
So I have another couple of questions, but I'm going to come back to those.
Okay.
All the stuff that you do with the Jackson Homestead, I went online, and I guess I should mention it's, maybe you should mention it because I'm looking at the URL. It's quite long. How do they find you online?
We're at historicnewton.org, so you can find us there.
Okay, so when I was clicking around, I found down by the riverside, Remembering Norumbega, which was Norumbega Park, which was quite a big deal. That's now the Marriott, I guess, and there's a little rental canoe place there.
Yep.
On the lakes area.
A lot of older folks in the community remember going there and having dates and meeting their spouses there. Lots of nice stories about that place.
So that's great. So when you do stuff like that, is it for a week or two? Is it display, or is it
that is an exhibit?
A seminar?
Well, we do all those things. So we have exhibits. That exhibit's been up for quite some time, and it's so popular, we need to take it down at the museum, but we're going to try and make a sort of traveling component for that. Another new exhibit we have, it just opened in February, is we redid our exhibit about the Underground Railroad and included a part about slavery in the North. We also do a lecture series. Our most recent one has been about slavery, just because it's such an important part of our history. Most people don't realize it's part of our history, too, not the South. We do lectures, exhibits, programs. We do things for families over school vacation. I had a school field trip this morning, and I have sand all over my shoes from doing an archaeology dig with some kids. So we do all sorts of stuff. It's really fun.
So the archaeological digs, there was a whole section online about that.
Oh, there were digs done at Durant Kenrick. Yeah. And they...
What did you find?
We found something really cool, a buttery, which we didn't know was there. Actually, forgive me, the real term is a dairy, but it's sort of the, 17 and 1800s version of a refrigerator, sort of a recessed floor, beautiful brick, and it just had been under, a foot or so of ground for ages. And it just sat there until we dug it up and found it. And so it was sort of a surprise to find it there, but it's going to be part of the new museum. We're actually going to pick it up and move it because it's where we wanted to put the elevator. But it will still be there, so you can see, sort of the older version of the refrigerator.
Okay, well, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back in just a moment. The Jim Lowenstern radio show. You can listen to the old shows at jimlowenstern.com, streaming live at, revolutionboston.com. That's it. We're at WWZN. It's AM 1510. Stay right with us. We'll be right back.
Sometimes I feel like I don't have a partner.
When you are searching for a new home, you want to be working with a realtor with years of experience, a professional with intimate knowledge of the communities that you are considering moving to, and someone who really wants to represent you as a buyer in what is probably the largest investment you'll ever make in your lifetime. Please visit us at CastlesUnlimited.com or call us anytime at 800-967-3561. Start your search anytime 24/7 at CastlesUnlimited.com, and a Castles Unlimited Realtor will get back to you just as fast as possible. Castles Unlimited Realtors, expert advice and quick, informative information on all the listings, not only your local market, but information on properties for sale or rent anywhere in the world. Your Castles Unlimited Realtor is always there to help you with your next move, your next purchase, your next home, or commercial property sale. CastlesUnlimited.com and 800-967-3561 Find your way home with your favorite Castles Unlimited Realtor.
Is your home suffering from any sort of water damage? Are you in need of a proper roof replacement? If so, you need Capstone General Contracting. We specialize in water and fire restoration, roofing and siding, additions and remodeling. Offering valuable contracting services and exceeding your expectations is our promise. Contact us at 508-799-4463 or through our website, gccapstone.com.
When you are looking to buy or sell real estate and you are looking for the right realtor to do business with, NewEnglandProsperity.org is a nationwide network of carefully selected brokers who are willing to give both you and your favorite charity a large portion of their commission. These brokers are only too happy to donate to a charity and to credit you back money to help with things such as your mortgage closing costs, title insurance, moving expenses, and more. Starting to look for a realtor first, go to NewEnglandProsperity.org and sign up. You'll be referred to a broker who will have your interests first and who will also credit you and donate to charity. Look them up at NewEnglandProsperity.org. And when you sign up on their website, you can expect a top broker to return to you with a call to begin discussing the next steps in your selling or buying process. NewEnglandProsperity.org brokers make it easy to buy and sell real estate, and they make it easy for you to pay for your closing costs because they pitch in with a piece of their commission and they make charitable contributions. For all of the information, just go to NewEnglandProsperity.org. We are changing the way America buys and sells real estate.
When buying or selling a home, always be sure to use a local realtor who has the knowledge and experience to help you get the most from this market. Properly pricing your home is vitally important. Realtors value properties every day. They understand how best to show a home and can help enhance the saleability and sale price of your home. This message is brought to you by the over 19,000 realtor members in Massachusetts. Contact a local realtor today, and good luck in the search for your perfect home.
Where it began.
All right, we're back. It's Jim Lowenstern. Okay, so going to be finishing up with Allison Carter, the Jackson Homestead in Newton, Massachusetts, and then going to be talking to Warren and Charbel with Capstone General Contracting. So, Allison, how does the house tour fit in with the work of Historic Newton overall?
It's basically an annual fundraiser, so it supports all of our programs and events, some of which we offer for free. And, you know, our mission is to interpret Newton history within the larger context of American history. So it's sort of seeing history on the smallest, most, you know, up close and personal scale in someone's house, because a lot of the houses are historic that are on the tour. But it's really all about bread and butter, getting us through every single year to give us all the programs and events we do.
Any plans for the future with the tour?
For the tour, we're just
Historic Newton in general.
Yeah, with the tour, we're just going to keep on trucking and do it every year and do it bigger and better and more awesome. With Historic Newton, the real big thing on the horizon is the opening of Durant and Kenrick. And right now we're doing a capital campaign. We got the house under construction right now. We're adding on a new wing to the back that's going to be an education wing, so we can make messes in there, not in the historic part of the building. And then we have to put in all the exhibits within the house. And it should be open hopefully later this year or early next year.
Yeah, I mean, it's so much history online on your site. Even to begin to ask you questions about this, it would be a 3-hour show.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's really amazing stuff. So we'll definitely have to have you back on again if you'll consider it.
Sure thing.
Okay, so Charbel and Warren, how are you going to help Allison manage this old property?
Well, we'll start with the postcard first.
Start with the postcard. Gonna redo the postcard. All right. So tell my listeners a little bit about your company, when it was formed, what you do, what's unique about what you do.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having us.
My pleasure.
The company started in 1998 with me basically falling in love with real estate and old homes and buying them, fix them up, and resell them and put them back in the market. The company was born off of that. In 2008, we incorporated Capstone General Contracting with majority ownership to my wife, Christine. Christine will be one of the only minority-owned company in our area. She'll be eligible for that this year. We're located in Worcester, Massachusetts, and our specialty, our main work is insurance restoration. We do that. We work with the banks, we work with the insurance companies, and act as a mediator between the homeowner and their adjuster if there is.
I actually saw right on your website, report a claim, almost like you're an insurance company.
Correct. When we ask for our homeowners to go directly to us, we'll be able to solicit the professionals that will be able to help them and direct them in the right path to enable them to do the appropriate work. Most of the time when you have damage on your home, you call your insurance agent, and your insurance agent will recommend you to a local contractor. We try to catch that work right after and be able to assist them and offer our professional services to them.
Yeah, I found some interesting letters on your website about some of the work, and maybe you can tell us a little bit about the Randall family. I have a letter here. Actually, looks like you may have written a letter.
This actually was done by the Rendell family. Great family. It was a pleasure working with them. You always hear the bad stories about a contractor taking advantage of a family.
I never heard that. When did that happen?
When did that happen? We try to be the antidote for that. It happened that the banker that was working with the Randall family called us one morning and asked if we could be involved in helping them. Their daughter, 2-year-old, just got done with chemotherapy, and they've hired a contractor, this is a local contractor, that did not have the know-how or the ability to do the major restoration that they wanted to do on the home, end up not pulling permits on the major parts of the addition, and the house was collapsing, and the town was going to condemn the home in Grafton. So we stepped in, we put the designs together, and completed the work in 8 days that have taken them 1.5 years in litigation.
How old a house was it?
It was built in the 1940s.
And it was falling down?
It was falling down because the contractor pulled a permit to do a roof.
Yeah.
However, he basically built a second and third floor without permits. So he restructured the home. It was a cape into I don't know what it is. But at that point, it was falling down. He was supporting it with 2x6s. There was no rafters. There was no structural beams. So we basically shored up the entire house all the way down to the foundation, repaired the foundation, jacked up the roof, restructured the roof. So now they have a second floor and an attic.
Now, this family, the Randalls, were they living in the house while this was being done?
They were living in the house up to November. The building inspector gave them a notice served to them by a sheriff that they have to vacate the house with the first snowfall.
Didn't they see what was going on? I mean, they must have had plans to do this, right?
There were no plans drawn before the construction started.
No plans?
No plans.
Permits?
No plans.
They just hired someone and said, surprise us?
Limited permit on a small addition on the side of the house and the roof that ended up being a major reconstruction for the whole house.
Wow. Okay, well, someone was asleep at the wheel, but you saved the day.
We would like to think that way, yes. We saved the day and get them back in their home. And
the house, it was not condemned?
It was not condemned. We saved it right before the winter started.
Now, you've done some other remarkable things. Trying to find it right here, was the ABC...
Oh, the Extreme Home Makeover edition?
That would be it.
Yep.
All right. So let's talk about what you've done with ABC.
We were selected by ABC to come and assist in the building of a two-family home in Springfield, Massachusetts, after a major tragedy have hit the home. The house was torn down, rebuilt in 4.5 days. Capstone have had 105 volunteers that basically we stayed for the first 36 hours.
You built a house in 4 days?
4.5, yes.
4.5?
Yes.
So it's like through the night and stuff like
Through
that?
the night, 24 hours a day, a lot of coffee and a
and
lot of energy drinks.
And I guess the neighbors were excited about it because a new house was going to be there by the end of the week, so they'll miss a few nights of sleep.
Yes, it was a lot of coordination. They had stations for 24 hours restaurant, 24-hour massage, 24-hour lighting. So they have the
24-hour massage. That's a long massage.
Yes, yeah. Any time of the day, you just roll into the massage station.
So the logistics of that must have been pretty interesting. Was there any kind of video, stationary, or photography set up so you could see the whole process of the house being built in 4 days?
Yes, yeah. There was a stationary station right across the street, and that basically recorded the entire show. That show aired December 2nd, and the family was able to move in on Saturday after we started on Tuesday, and it was a wonderful, wonderful experience to be part of.
And you were on the show yourself, right?
I got a glimpse of myself for about a second.
You probably took a whole day off from work to get the glimpse. Right?
Pretty much, yes. Yeah, not a lot of credit goes to the contractors that actually do the work, but it's a great experience for the family to give them a home that they could, have a fresh start and start all over.
Just to finish up with that thought, what was the tragedy?
A 10-year-old son have been bullied for numbers of years at the school, and he ended up committing suicide in the attic of the home. And it's just the tragedy have taken the family, to a whole different way. That the mother, instead of going to a deep depression, she became an activist and a person that speaks on behalf of kids that being bullied, and traveled the country on several national shows, from the Oprah show to even meeting the president and the first lady, and got her message across along on a state level, and here also meeting with the governor. So she got a lot of accomplished to help the children that are being bullied, and that's really
nice.
Was the major thing.
And logistically, to have everything pulled together with volunteers and having the materials there and everything, how much preparation does it take time-wise to put all that into motion to have a house built in 4 days? How much work did you have to do?
On our side, it was limited, but on the producer side, they work for about 3 weeks straight out to put together the show that will be able to, build the home in 4.5 days. For us, we basically committed to a timeline and a number of professional tradesmen that will show up and will be there. We had to cover a few other tradesmen that either didn't show up or didn't finish what they were supposed to finish. So we had to come in and help and volunteer for an additional time that will be able to bring what was going to be done for the scope to fruition, basically.
So sometimes I've done a little building, and I have contractors that say, "Oh yeah, I can build a house for you in 3 months, or I can build it in 6 months," and it's always 6 months or 12 months or a year and a half. So did they tell you they could build it in 1 day and it took 4 days, or?
No, absolutely not. There was an exact schedule by the hour for every tradesman, or when they're going to start and when they're going to finish, and they stick by it. There was a group of 6 project managers on site 24 hours to coordinate with every single sub and every single entity to put that whole program together. Beautifully done.
It sounds
amazing experience
amazing
to be part of it.
And congratulations
thank you.
on being picked for that show. That's quite an accomplishment. So you have a division that just does like remodeling of bathrooms. Is this like a bathroom can be taken from old to new in a day or two?
With permits and everything, it's really it can be accomplished in a day, knowing that the building inspectors can come in and inspect on our beck and call. But we do a complete remodeling of a bathroom down to the studs, completely rebuilt in under a week. So we come in, we gut it to the studs, redo the electrical, the plumbing, put back the fixtures, new tubs, showers, vanities.
So you do it right. There are companies
Exactly.
that just sort of come in, they throw some fiberglass over the tile.
Correct.
And what do you think of that quick and somewhat inexpensive solution?
If that's what you're looking for, then God bless you, but that's not what we do.
You don't do that?
No, we don't. We basically take everything out and restore it completely brand new, and we give them exactly what they're looking for plans. We've developed a software that help homeowner basically price their own bathroom. So it's not like a salesman is going to show up at your door and depend on what you drive for a car, that's the price of the bathroom is going to be. The homeowner can go to gccapstone.com and be able to go on the Easy Bath Solution website, which will be live by itself by May 21st, God willing, where you could click on the package that you like. And there is a startup package at $9,900, complete bathroom, and you could take it to $48,000 if you want to. But there is 3 easy packages that you could pick from, and then you could select additional items by basically clicking select, and it will price it right in front of your eyes, where you could reserve it and have somebody come to your house and double check your final measurements. It's really simple. It tells you exactly what's included, and it tells you what's not included.
Good. Thank you, Charbel.
Well, thank you.
Okay, we're going to be right back in a couple of minutes. Just hang in there. It's Jim Lowenstern Radio Talk Show, and we're at AM 1510 in Boston. Thanks. When buying or selling a home, always be sure to use a local realtor who has the knowledge and experience to help you get the most from this market. Properly pricing your home is vitally important. Realtors value properties every day. They understand how best to show a home and can help enhance the saleability and sale price of your home. This message is brought to you by the over 19,000 realtor members in Massachusetts. Contact a local realtor today, and good luck in the search for your perfect home.
Craig Taney is a full-service mortgage broker lender serving Greater Boston for the last 20 years. In 2009, Craig and his partners started Mortgage Equity Partners. MEP is a boutique home loan origination company that seeks out the most aggressive lenders for home mortgages and can offer the most competitive rates available in the market today. Call Craig directly for a personal consultation at 781-309-1805. Mortgage loan origination number 142580 and NMLS 1936.
Is your home suffering from any sort of water damage? Are you in need of a proper roof replacement? If so, you need Capstone General Contracting. We specialize in water and fire restoration, roofing and siding, additions and remodeling. Offering valuable contracting services and exceeding your expectations is our promise. Contact us at 508-799-4463 or through our website, gccapstone.com.
Castles Magazine, in-print and online magazine and database of exceptional properties is available to you 24/7 at castlesmag.com. Considered by Google to be the online authority of luxury real estate, castlesmag.com is the best way to search for properties anywhere in the world when you are looking for your dream home, and the best realtors to help you with your search. Castles Magazine and castlesmag.com. One in print and one online, and always at your service. Not just opening doors, opening the doors that you dream of.
Welcome back from that short break. This is Jim Lowenstern. This is my radio talk show on WWZN. It's revolutionboston.com if you're streaming it, because the Red Sox are bumping us off our normal time on Sunday. We're playing a little bit of Guns N' Roses because Slash tickets went on sale today for $2,000 a piece. Oh, but you get a signed guitar, too, so it's quite the deal. So we have a few minutes left with our guests. Allison Carter with the Jackson Homestead and Historic Newton. I guess the big question is for the house tour, how do people buy the tickets?
You can go to our website, historicnewton.org, and buy them through PayPal there. Or you can give us a call, 617-796-1450, and you can order them over the phone. Or you can show up at the Jackson Homestead on June 3rd, the day of the tour, and buy them then.
June 3rd, Sunday.
Sunday, June 3rd.
And I hear it's going to be a beautiful day, sunny in the mid-70s.
That's right. That's exactly what it's going to be.
So before we end, just a moment to talk about who the Jacksons were and who Durant and, was it Durant Kenrick?
Yeah. So the Jacksons, the family that lived at the Jackson Homestead, they were one of the first families from England to move to Newton. When they originally moved to Newton, Edward Jackson, the first of them, he was a slave owner. And then 4 generations later, if you fast forward, actually 3, Timothy Jackson, who built the current homestead that you see on Washington Street, he fought in the Revolution and built that house in his old age. He somehow made an impression on his children that he felt like he was fighting for freedom and equality, and that he had a problem with slavery. So that's how you get descendants of slave owners becoming really ardent abolitionists. And the Jacksons opened up their home to runaway slaves, seeking freedom, justice, and just a life of making your own decisions. And there's a wonderful story about that in our new exhibit called Confronting Our Legacy, Slavery and Anti-Slavery in the North. The Durants were at the Durant-Kenrick Homestead. They were revolutionary folks. They were part of the Committee of Correspondence, which is basically local governments writing letters to support the people in Boston who were protesting the taxation that was going on by the British. And then later, in the 1790s, the Kenricks moved into that house. And they were horticulturists. They were shipping fruits from England.
They definitely had apple trees.
Oh,
I
totally,
was
apple
reading
trees.
Pages about apple trees.
Yeah, they shipped fruits over from England and made hybrids and then shipped them all throughout this region. So a lot of the fruits that you buy in the grocery store today, particularly Bosc pears, came to this country through Newton. It was really cool. Yeah, their undoing was mulberry trees. They were trying to make a fortune with, I don't know, mulberry trees, silkworms, something like that, and it was their undoing, unfortunately. But
well, we're going to have you back, Allison.
Yeah,
for
sure.
I mean,
we could go on
talk.
forever.
I will definitely put a link on my website for the Jackson Homestead as well.
Thank you.
After this. So, Charbel, and Oren, you can also answer this question. Your company, GCCapstone.com. .com. Okay. If
Capstone General Contracting is the mother company. Yeah.
How are you different from your competitors? We're going to wrap up in 2 minutes, and we're going to talk about your company. How are you different from your competitors?
You've been doing a great job. Keep it up.
Thank you. Well, what distinguishes us from other general contractors is we wanted to bring to the folks a simplified method that everybody can go on our website, gccapstone.com, and be able to price whatever they desire and not be able to be in the dark when it comes to a major renovation or a major addition, or they want to put gutters or a deck on, or replace their home windows, or do a bathroom, even to a kitchen. the two prototype calculators that we have developed, they are currently parked on our website. You could go on www.gccapstone.com and try to price your own bathroom. It's really easy, and you could price your own windows as well. We wanted to simplify the construction process. That's it.
Okay, that's great. That's great. We had a great show today. I want to thank all of my guests once again. It was Oren Mel and Charbel Najim from GC Capstone, and Allison Carter from Historic Newton, the Jackson Homestead, and now the new property that's opening up on Waverly Road. What's it again?
Durant Kenrick Homestead?
Durant Kenrick Homestead. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
This is Jim Lowenstern, hoping that all of my listeners find all of their dreams right at home. And you can listen to all my archive shows at jimlowenstern.com. You can find out when the next show is coming on and read all my articles. You can even buy some real estate with me. All right there. So, thanks again, and we'll talk to you next week. Same time. Bye.